Surely you have to dredge his memory to recall what he was doing exactly at the same time one day before. And yet men often dare to claim to be God or Krishna. One should not be misled by such meaningless claims. Then again, the Lord explains his prakriti, or his form. Prakriti means nature as well as sarupa, or one's own form. The Lord says that he appears in his own body. He does not change his body, as a common living entity changes from one body to another. The conditional soul may have one kind of body in the present birth, but he has a different body in the next birth. In the material world, the living entity has no fixed body, but transmigrates from one body to another. The Lord, however, does not do so. Whenever he appears, he does so in the same original body, by his internal potency. In other words, Shri Krishna appears in the material world in his original eternal form with two hands holding a flute. He appears exactly in his eternal body, uncontaminated by this material world. Although he appears in the same transcendental body and is the Lord of the universe, it still appears that he takes his birth like an ordinary living entity. And although his body does not deteriorate like a material body, it still appears that Lord Krishna grows from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youth. But astonishingly enough, he never ages beyond youth. At the time of the battle of Kurukshetra, he had many grandchildren at home. Or in other words, he had sufficiently aged by material calculations. Still, he looked just like a young man, 20 or 25 years old. We never see a picture of Krishna in old age, because he never grows old like us, although he is the oldest person in the whole creation, past, present, and future. Neither his body nor his intelligence ever deteriorates or changes. Therefore it is clear that in spite of his being in the material world, he is the same unborn, eternal form of bliss and knowledge, changeless in his transcendental body and intelligence. Factually, his appearance and disappearance are like the sun's rising, moving before us and then disappearing from our eyesight. When the sun is out of sight, we think that the sun has set. And when the sun is before our eyes, we think that the sun is on the horizon. Actually, the sun is always in its fixed position. But owing to our defective, insufficient senses, we calculate the appearance and disappearance of the sun in the sky. And because Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are completely different from that of any ordinary living entity, it is evident that he is eternal, blissful knowledge by his internal potency. He is never contaminated by material nature. The Vedas also confirm that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unborn. Yet he still appears to take birth in multi-manifestations. The Vedic supplementary literatures also confirm that even though the Lord appears to be taking his birth, he is still without change of body. In the Bhagavatam, he appears before his mother as Narayan, with 4 hands and the decorations of 6 kinds of full opulences. His appearance in his original eternal form is his causeless mercy. His appearance in his original eternal form is his causeless mercy, bestowed upon the living entity so that they can concentrate on the Supreme Lord as he is, and not on mental concoctions or imaginations which the impersonalist wrongly thinks the Lord's forms to be. The word Maya or Atma Maya refers to the Lord's causeless mercy according to Vishwakosha dictionary. The Lord is conscious of all of his previous appearances and disappearances, but a common living entity forgets everything about his past body as soon as he gets another body. He is the Lord of all living entities because he performs wonderful and superhuman activities while he is on this earth. Therefore, the Lord is always the same absolute truth and is without differentiation between his form and self, or between his quality and body. A question may now be raised as to why the Lord appears and disappears in this world. This is explained in the next verse. So once again, translation, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So Srila Prabhupada has a very wonderful long purport that we can meditate on for this entire week and get lots of insight. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachar Nirvashe Shunyavadi Pashtatai Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gada Shivasati Gaur Bhaktanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so just you can keep it on the Sanskrit. So a long purport, and there's much to be said, and many acharyas have commented on this extensively. So Ajopi son avyayatma. Although I'm born and imperishable, Aja meaning unborn, and avyayatma meaning imperishable, are characteristics that even, the acharyas say, even applies to the soul. But then, so Aja and avyayatma also applies for the soul. Shri Krishna Bhagavan says that earlier in Gita. But the next line describes a quality that is very unique. Bhutanam Ishvara Api San, being the Lord of all living beings. The individual soul cannot be the Lord of all living beings, as we know. I cannot tell what's in Vedanta Madha Prabhu's internal self, and he can't tell what's in the internal self of someone else. So that's unique. Bhutanam Ishvara Api San. Then Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya. Still I appear in my original transcendental nature. Swam Bhavami Atma Mayaya. I manifest myself through my internal potency, Atma Maya. So Krishna appears in this world by his own internal desire. From Krishna's point of view, his material and spiritual energies are both simply his energies. And material energy, as we know, in one way covers us with forgetfulness. It makes us think that Krishna is material, and everything else in the world takes prominence. While spiritual energy illuminates us and clarifies our understanding. But from Krishna's perspective, both are acting under his will, fulfilling his purpose according to the desire of the jiva. So in perspective, Shri Krishna, we're reading verse 4.6. From perspective, to put this in setting, so Shri Arjuna heard Krishna's claim in the beginning of chapter 4 that Shri Krishna Bhagavan gave instructions of Gita to the sun god Vivaswan many millennium ago. So Arjuna in 4.4 has a pertinent doubt. He says, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the science to him? Sorry, I'm kind of having my back towards you. So this is very wonderful because Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada would always say, is not blind following. I mean, Shri Arjuna is a Nityasiddha Bhakta, but Lord Krishna very lovingly accepts his doubts. He doesn't say, oh, you're just a jiva, I'm Bhagavan, stop asking me stupid questions. Doesn't do that. So that's very instructive. Prabhu talked about relevant, and one of the relevant questions is that which is applicable for oneself, but even more for the entirety of all living beings. So Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan, that 4.4 says, it's not that Arjuna did not know that Krishna is the Lord of all, because Arjuna appears in the world in a form similar to that of Krishna. I'm not saying that. Meaning, Arjuna is a nitya. We cannot be. When Krishna appears in human form, then this doubts arise because Krishna appeared in a human form and was born from Devaki, or apparently born from Mother Devaki. Because if he's human, he cannot be, the three O's: omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. And he cannot be eternal. If he was born, he cannot be eternal, right? Because here it's saying the unborn is born. So the Lord knows the truth about himself, the acharyas say, but others do not. Therefore, for these words to come out of the lotus lips of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, then the real nature of his form and birth can be revealed for the benefit of the world. If I want to know about Mansi Ganga Mataji, if she reveals, then I will understand. But without that, I will not understand. I may have external observations, and some of them may be clouded by perceptions that are incorrect or correct. But you can really hear it from the person themselves. So Arjuna's beautiful question allows Lord to explain something very profound and deep. So Lord Krishna here is purposefully distinguishing between the jiva's birth, meaning us, and his own appearance. So we are born, I am born under influence of karma. Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, karma is that which results in repeated birth and death. And we have no independence to decide we were born in India or in US, or as a man or as a woman, who our parents were. Is this too loud? We didn't choose it. So that means we received it, right? Like if I go to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress just gives me something, I didn't choose it, I received it. So if I received it, that means there's a cause, right? If I got a plate of, in the US, a pancake, then it means there's a cause. Somebody made that pancake for me because of their desire. And so the cause in this case for jiva is karma. But Krishna Bhagavan says his cause for appearance is his independent will. Now all the acharyas on this verse make this comment that the Atma is also ajo, aja, and avyayatma, imperishable. So Krishna Bhagavan says in 2.20, famous verse, ajo nityam shashvatam yam purano, that the jiva is, the soul, the atma, the jivatma is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying. So jiva is also aja, and jiva is also avyaya. So what's the difference? What's so special about Shri Krishna's appearance? Jiva is under the control of what's called Bhairanga Shakti. And Shakti is oftentimes considered an energy, but in Sankhya, Shakti is a feminine personality from Lord himself. So Bhairanga Shakti means the outside material energy, this material world. And through that Shakti, Bhagavan Shri Krishna manifests this world. But he's always the owner of his Shakti. You can see that. If you want, when one reads Gopal Champu in the Govardhan Leela, Shri Krishna Bhagavan describes as sitting in a cottage and he sees these rainstorms coming over Govardhan. He just runs out. And by his Shakti, the rain doesn't affect him. So Shakti is conscious. It's not just energy, it's a conscious aspect of Bhagavan. So he oversees and manages and controls it. And that's why Jiva, because of that Shakti, Krishna Bhagavan himself says, Devi yasa gunamaya, mama maya duratya ya, you know. Jiva forgets and loses memory, has no independence on his birth or where he's going to receive birth from. So it is not like that for Bhagavan, right? Some of us saw the Nrsimhadev Avatar movie this week. If those of you that haven't seen it, it's pretty nice. It's in Telugu, but then I think they redubbed it in Hindi. But they have like English, and there's a theater that's showing it not too far from this location. So which mother did Nrsimha Bhagavan appear from? He appeared from the pillar. Do we appear from pillars? No. So his mother is the pillar, in one sense, right? So he can appear wherever he likes. It doesn't have to be from a feminine, female body. Where did Lord Vraha, in that movie they showed Lord Vrahadev too, where did he appear from? Which mother did he appear from? He appeared from the nostril of Sri Brahma. And normally that's considered an unclean place, like people blow their nose and then they take the napkin and they throw it in the garbage, right? They don't hold on to it like a precious handloom, you know. So it was considered unclean, but for him he had no influence. He appeared as a boar. Some people call that a pig, but boars are not quite pig. They're more like you know, in the jungle, sort of independent creatures. And generally that's considered pretty unclean. But it had no influence on him. Why? Because he himself is the source of creation and maintenance. So who will give birth to him? That's why he says later in Gita that nobody knows me. Why? Because I'm the very source of creation. So by that, he's declaring that he's birthless and eternal and unchangeable. And if somebody says, well, the Jiva is like that too, the Jiva Atma is like that too, then, you know, Krishna Bhagavan says, remember what we said, the second line is the unique one, which is, he says, you know, I am the Bhutanam Ishvaro. I am the controller. We are not independent, we're dependent on Sri Krishna. So then he goes on to say, Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya. So he's situated in his Prakriti. By his own will he appears. So he's born in Mathura, in this particular, you know, direct manifestation, not born from mother. He just appeared, as we know, many of you have read his, you know, birth in Krishna book. Devotees like to read that prior to Janmashtami or throughout the year. He came dressed like with a helmet and jewels and paraphernalia, full head of curly hair. I mean, how many children are born like that? Then he transforms himself in front of Devaki to just being like an ordinary child by his desire. So it is Leela. Leela can be considered as Bhagwan's play, but also Bhagwan's mercy. So taking birth, the unborn taking birth is his Leela. That's why he says, Prakritim Swamadhishtaya. Prakriti, the Acharyas explain, means, we often think of it as material nature, but once again it's a lot more than that. It means his sarup in this circumstance. And all the Acharyas quote this verse, Sam siddhim to ime swarupancha swabhavacha. So in this case, they all say that Prakriti here means by his own sarup shakti, his antaranga shakti, his internal potency. So it appears to us that Bhagwan Krishna has taken birth because he's growing up, he's eating, he's getting bathed, he's being naughty. So this is his Nara Leela. There's not Nrsimhadev Leela. You don't see Nrsimhadev, getting, somebody putting clothes on him, bathing him, right? It's a very difficult for us to understand. This appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagwan, in the form of Sri Krishna Bhagwan. That's why we can only understand this, his appearance in this world, for those whom Lord Krishna desires to not hide that knowledge. And those are the pure devotees who in their darshan, samadhi darshan, have had direct realization of Sri Krishna Leela. And then those great saintly personalities can reveal that to us. Otherwise we cannot fathom it. Normally for us, Srimad Bhagavatam is, the tattva that which we go by. And in that tattva, it says that Sri Krishna Bhagwan was born to whom? To Vasudeva and Devaki, right? But Sri Jiva Goswami and Gopal Champu, through his Samadhi Darshan, explains to us that no, it's really Yashoda Nandana, his mother and father. So for the Gaudiya Acharyas, that's accepted as the truth. But how would we know that? We only know that through those that have seen the truth. Right? Tattva Darshana, right? Last week you covered that. So that's the only way we can obtain that knowledge. So the very important point is those who are educated in the parampara will get this knowledge. Others will just think it's a myth or a fairy tale or a drama. So he's not born as a result of his karma. Okay? And he says this by saying Atma Mayaya. Now Maya, we mistakenly think of as illusion or false. But Maya, the root word of Maya is Ma. And Ma means to create or produce. Create or produce. So Maya means the creative Shakti of Bhagavan. It's not everything about Bhagavan is conscious. That's why in Sri Krishna Leela, Yashoda starts moving Yamuna starts moving towards Krishna, and the rocks start melting. Whereas pure devotees stand still, those things in the material world which stand still start moving in Krishna Leela. So it's a very profoundly different conception. So Atma Maya here doesn't mean illusion, it means his mercy. Mercy can also, Maya can also mean mercy. Acharyas explained that. He appears by his mercy, whereas we appear due to karmic activities. So why does he appear again and again? Because of his Atma Mayaya. Shri Jaisacinandana Dev ki jai. Because of his Atma Mayaya. As he has mercy for his devotees. That's why he appears. Otherwise, as Srila Prabhupada has said many times, the Dushkrita, the unfavorable, not so nice people, he can eliminate simply. He can just withhold the power of breath for a couple of seconds and see what happens. So when he appears, it is very special, especially in this Nara Leela of Swami Bhagavan, this Bal Gopal and Vrindavan, because it's mercy for the general people and the devotees, and he gives darshan to everyone, including Ashuras. Their raga, their spontaneous attachment is greater than most of ours, spontaneous attachment to Krishna Bhagavan. I was listening to a lecture by Dinabandhu Prabhu, your godbrother, and he's very funny, but he's very insightful. He said, there was Kamsa, and Kamsa was like looking at his silver plate and thinking of Krishna's helmet. And Kamsa saw his wife's yellow sari, and he started thinking of Krishna. He said, how many of you, when you see your wife's yellow sari, start thinking of Krishna? So this is very special that Krishna Bhagavan descends in this human-like form. By his Shakti, by this Antaranga Shakti, he can hide himself or reveal himself. So to those who do not believe in Bhagavan, they take Prakriti to be material. And so we need to understand the difference between this conception. So that's why Bhagavan says, Prakritim swam adhishtaya, meaning this is his own Shakti, not material Prakriti. This Atma Maya is his own internal Shakti. It's not Mahamaya. Mahamaya or Bhairanga Shakti or Tatishta Shakti also belongs to him because he's a possessor of those potencies. But it's not within him. It's not within him. So he has these 5 Shaktis, but prominent would be, this Tatishta, Bhairanga, Antaranga Shaktis. But if you step back, we oftentimes say that there's nothing outside of Bhagavan, right? He permeates every, as Shirdaksha Vishnu, he permeates every atom. So how can anything be outside of him? How can anything be Bhairanga of that one who possesses this potency? But the point is that the workings of the external potency have no influence upon him. The affairs of the material world have no influence on Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. That's why he's Adhishtaya also of this material world. Adhishtaya means the foundation. Just like for a devotee, Sharanagati is the foundation of bhakti. Damadagala Mataji, some time back, I think during Bhagavatam class, was reading Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sharanagati prayers. So surrender is something that's not seen. You can't see it in a person. Just like the foundation of the house cannot be seen, but it is that on which the house stands. And Sharanam, Prapanam is that on which bhakti stands. So Bhagavan himself says that he's the Adhisthaya of this material world as well. We cannot see him in this world, but it rests on him. So he's maintainer of the material and spiritual worlds, and the jivas, us, who are traveling in between those two. Because we know if we go to Canto 2 and read about creation, that Prakriti is inactive until Bhagavan by his glance injects time and the jivas. Then the gunas start activating and creation occurs as we see it. So here Krishna says, Sambhavami, which Srila Prabhupada translates as, I do incarnate. And the Acharya said that means I appear in my sarup, sarup, my original identity. So he's Ishvara. How do we know this? Because he's Ishvara. He's, even as a child, he has all this potency. How old was he when he killed Putana? Small baby. I've read 6 years old, but I haven't quite seen the Shastric reference for that. And when she died, she had a massive body, right? They were like, using her limbs for like aromatic incense. It's not possible for a child that age or any age to do that to Putana. He's showing, I'm a small child, but I'm still Ishvara in all cases. Srila Prabhupada has a beautiful purport to Jai Radha Madhava, where he says, Krishna is not a God who has to meditate to become God. He said, at any moment he can be God and lift Govardhan on the tip of his fingertip. At any moment. His Shakti is conscious and not separate from him. But he's not under the influence of the external energy. So he says Ishvara, meaning he's complete, and his Shakti doesn't diminish. You know, like us, we're born as a little child, and we have no power, let alone killing Putana. We're just lying in bed, depending on everybody else to, feed us, bathe us, clothe us. And then as we grow, our powers increase, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his beautiful prayers on Atma Nivedana, that my power, I was in the womb of my mother, I had your darshan, and I thought, this life, Krishna, is going to be different. And he said, then I was born, and my mother and father loved me, took care of me. I went to school and I saw my intellectual powers grow. And then I realized that, and I took pride in what I did materially. And he says, at the end of my life, I've had no devotion for you. I'm crying because I wasted this life. Now, his humility is his Krishna praying, but his humility is our reality. So, Krishna is not like that child that's born, grows, and then as a senior, that we'll all be. Srila Prabhupada had this funny interview where he was being interviewed, and this was in the 70s, and somebody said to him, Srila Prabhupada, it was an American reporter saying, Srila Prabhupada, mortality rate in India is very, very high, because there was, those of us that were born in India know there's a consequence of a foreign occupier, taking everything out of a country, which is what happened to India when the British came. Right? So at that time, it took India many, many decades to bounce back from that, being under subjugation. Of course, that's just material, but and that's why in the 70s, there was sometimes not enough food for people. And so Srila Prabhupada said, excuse me, the mortality rate is the same everywhere in the world, 100%, not just in India. So the idea here is that everybody will go through the cycle of birth, growth, and then waxing, waning, and then disappearing, and then birth again. But his energies are not like that. So when he shows his potency in this Nara Leela, it is his Leela. It's his play. Higher than logic is Leela. Not everything can be understood simply by material logic. We see how we just had His Holiness Prabhupada Maharaj speaking about some pastimes. If we read those, Krishna is carrying his friends on his shoulder, right? But then immediately he kills the big demons. And then he goes and lifts Govardhan like nothing. Can the other children who just defeated him and were being carried, he was carrying them on his shoulder, can they go and lift Govardhan? They defeated him in, childhood games, but could they defeat him there? In Govardhan, he's holding up the entire hill. He's like iron. And the gopas are assisting him by holding up their little sticks, Because one of the things about rasa is that Aishwarya disappears. And that sense of he's mine increases. So that same personality that's holding Govardhan is like a statue, immovable. That same person, when he's holding the flute and calling the gopis, is bending in three forms. The flute has such power that it can bend his body. How do we understand that? So, the appearance of Sri Krishna Bhagavan is, in this form, is very, very special. Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says in the very first chapter in Canto 10 that Bhagavan Vishnu spoke to Brahmaji through the mind. He didn't even appear in front of the Devi Devtas. He spoke to such a qualified person like Sri Brahma through the mind. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, how special is it that he actually appears as Bal Gopal and reveals us the nature of the spiritual world. I was hearing a wonderful lecture on Damodar Leela by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. And Bhakti Vikas Maharaj said, in Ram Leela, Sri Ramchandraji is the ideal husband, the ideal son, the ideal king, the ideal friend, the ideal master, right? You would not see him, giving milk to the monkeys. You wouldn't see him destroying everything that his mother has done, to make some food for him. You would not see him going out in the middle of the night and dancing with the gopis. But Vikas Maharaj was saying that he is Gokul. What is Gokul? It's a gathering of cows. So the point he was making is Sri Ramchandraji comes to display ideal behavior. Bhagavan Sri Krishna comes to show us life in the spiritual world. What is the spiritual world like? They're obviously they're Bhagavan. But this is very special. It's a covered pastime. And one needs to have the grace and the mercy of those who have seen that in their darshan. And those are the acharyas. And through them try to understand. Like Srila Prabhupada. And in that long purport that we read, if you go back and reread it, you will essentially have read everything that Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan and Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also say. So it's very all-encompassing. And it's also very unique. Bhagavatam says, Acharya has to adjust for Kal, Desh, Patra, time, place, circumstance. And Srila Prabhupada himself says, you don't try to screw out a new, in his own words, a new meaning, yet by the dint of one's power of realization, and that only comes through bhav. By dint of that, you can adjust. Not just you come and say, okay, do this. So Sri Madhvacharya has also said some really wonderful things, from the mother's point of view. And I wrote them down, and I'll just read some of them. He poses questions, and they help us to understand this. He says, one may wonder that if Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is eternal, then is his sarup or transcendental body eternal as well? To this, Lord Krishna says yes, that he's unborn. In this verse, Avyaya Atma means eternal body of Shri Bhagavan. He said, just as it has been explained previously that Atma or soul being spiritual is without beginning and eternal. That's verse 2.20 that I read. You know, Shashvatam, Ajavnitim Shashvatam Parana. In the same way, the Swarup of Bhagwan should be understood to exist. Swarup, one's form, identity. Second question, one may further wonder, how is it he appears to be born if he is without a beginning and eternal? Meaning, how is the unborn born? He said the answer is, he manifests himself by his own self in pure Vishuddha Sattva, by his internal potency known as Yoga Maya, or here described as Atma Mayaya, through Prakriti or material nature, which is completely under his control. So then one might wonder, how is it being eternal he's able to manifest himself through material father and material mother such as Vasudeva and Devaki? And Madhvacharya says, but both Vasudeva and Devaki are also part of Lord Krishna's potency. And Lord Shri Krishna, by appearing within them in their heart, if you read Krishna book, they start being illuminated soon as Krishna Bhagavan enters into their presence. Elevates them to pure Vishuddha Sattva. So he manifests through them, even though appearing to be born through normal human parents by material perception. It shouldn't be thought that Lord Krishna is dependent upon anything, or that he's born, or that he ever dies. Nor should we assume that the material elements of Prakriti were used to form his body like us, because he's transcendental and complete, and his Shaktis are subservient to him. He appears and disappears in the conditions necessary to descend and ascend by his own sweet will. This is very special. It's like asking a fish to come out of water and walk on land. Because Atma means soul, and Maya in this sense means the pure consciousness of the pure eternal soul. It's another synonym for Yoga Maya. So Madhvacharya says it means that Yoga Maya arranges the situation and all details with intricacy so that Lord Krishna appears to be born like a human being, like a normal human being, but this is not so. So let us read, we should read this purport many, many times and meditate on it and try to understand what's being spoken here. And just remember here, the main thing is understand that Prakritim and Maya are not the way we normally think. The context is different here. Prakritim here means his Swarup. And Maya here means his mercy. And understand that Ajo Api San Avyaya Atma, the Jiva, the Atma of the individual Jiva has that quality, but that individual Jiva does not have Bhutanam Ishvara. He's not the controller for every living being. Okay? So his appearance is very special and is continually occurring. And happens to occur here this coming Saturday, and we'll observe it on that day. But may Krishna appear in our heart continuously and eternally. And may we be so fortunate to have darshan of Shri Krishna in this lifetime. Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in the 14-fold steps explains darshan is feasible in that path, from Shraddha to Bhajana Kriya, etc. But we have to really want it and we have to really deserve it. Okay? Any comments or questions? Sorry that the temple is looking a little bare. We removed the paintings and the curtains and the banners, all that, so the room can get repainted and the altar space can get repainted. So this coming week, it'll probably take 4 to 5 days to clean and repaint for the painters. So darshan of the altar will be essentially closed because they have to protect the deities with things so that paint and stuff like that doesn't fall on the deities. The pujaris will be doing the seva to the small chote deities, the small deities, and to Nrsingadev in a different room, and thereby serve Shri Jaisacinandana. But I request all of you to please pray that they're pleased by the endeavor of this congregation, and that we can bring some happiness to them. They're of course eternally happy, but hopefully by how we work together and please them, that'll be even wonderful. I want to thank all the devotees who came yesterday and did boatloads of service from young to old. Everybody was doing lots of seva, and for different areas. You know, we needed this room cleaned, the kitchen cleaned, the book room organized, a Sunday school organized, and so that was really wonderful. Everybody worked together, so thank you. Questions, comments? Okay. Did you follow a little bit? Just go back to the purport and keep reading it, and every line, try to understand the essence of that line. Because it's really packed with a lot of meaning. And that's why the acharyas have a lot of things to say about this verse. Krishna slowly reveals his identity in Bhagavad Gita. It's not immediate. Because one has to have the heart to have darshan. Darshan is not done through the eyes, it's done through one's heart. And heart has to undergo some purification to have darshan. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. So we'll have stand-up kirtan now? Okay. So please put away the mats and then get ready. Chant with a lot of enthusiasm. Hare Krishna.
Jaisacinandana Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ठीक हो? Where were you hiding?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिते नामिने नमो। भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिते नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमस्ते सती देवी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण नित्यानंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Krishna. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura, Jaya Gaura 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 Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Gaura Gaura. Nitai Sacinandana Jaya Gaura 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 Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram Jaya Guru Govardhan. Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Nitai Sacinandana गौरा 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 हरे गौरा 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 हरे गौरा 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 हरे गौरा 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण जय नित सचिनंदन गौर हरे नित सचिनंदन गौर हरे जय नित सचिनंदन गौर हरे नित सचिनंदन गौर हरे जय जय प्रभुपाद जय 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 गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरिनाम संकीर्तन के जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाज का चरष्टमत अभय चरणबिंद भक्ति वेदन स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की सर्वसम प्रभुगण की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय गंगा माई जीवन माई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की जय श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। इस्कन समस्त आचार्य गुरु वृंद की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महारानी चक्र संजीव की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। गिरिराज महाराज की जय। कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव शिखविंद की जय। पंचतत्व की जय। समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सिद्धनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। All glories to the Assembly of Hare Krishna. All glories to the Assembly of Hare Krishna. All glories to Gauranga Gauranga. All glories to Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakashi Purvashaha. Shelatanka Nakala He. Yeto Nasenga Parato Nasenga. Ya mitato nasinga. Bahe nasinga, hriday nasinga. Narasimha madam sharanam prapate. Tava kada kamalavare nakam abuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipu ranabringa keshavareta narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jagadisha Hare. Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Yogesha Vareta Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Yogesha Vareta Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Prahalad, Jaya Bala Maharaj. Jaya Narahari, Jaya Narahari, Jaya Narahari, Jaya Narahari. Jaya Jaisacinandana Gaurahari, Jaya Jaisacinandana Gaurahari. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Guru Deva, Neta Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Neta Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Neta Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Neta Gora Hari Bol. सिंह भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, करुण शोला प्रभुपाद की जय, नेता गौ प्रमंदे हरि हरि बोल।
You want to make the announcements? He looks ready to do that too. Those are cute socks. What's on your socks? Okay, so everybody was, I think, he was very enthusiastic, don't you all think? So what were you thinking about when you were chanting? You were thinking about Krishna. Is that right? Nice, very nice. Keep it up, very wonderful. So we want all the youth, all the young kids to be able to, chant for the pleasure of Bhagwan like that. Thank you very much. Parents are doing a very nice job. Thank you. So announcements and upcoming events. Any first-time visitors? Okay. I think you're it from what I see. Can you tell us your name and what brought you here?
I'm actually very much fond of Krishna and Rama. My husband says there is one temple is known as Sri Prabhu.
Is your husband here? Oh, this first time for you as well? Okay.
Not regularly, but whenever
I see. You live now in Portland?
Yeah.
Where do you live? Okay, so close by. And Mataji was saying you're very fond of Radha Krishna and ISKCON temple. Did you go in India?
In India, I used to go, yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Patna, Bihar.
Okay. Well, I think we have, there's a friend of yours. He's from Bihar as well. So get to know him. Very wonderful family, right? Him also. So we have a good contingent of Biharis. So you can do it. Okay. Let's welcome Prabhu and Mataji with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Do you have children also? No, not yet. Okay. But please keep coming as you can. Okay? Okay, next. This is a generic loud Hari Bol to all devotees celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. Hari Bol. Okay. So we just celebrated on Friday Shri Balaram Purnima, the appearance day of Shri Balaramji. And yesterday we did cleaning of the temple throughout, the entirety of the temple. And so the next big endeavor is going to be Shri Krishna Janmashtami, and that's on this Saturday. It's here all day, but main event starts from 5 p.m. onwards. So we'll see how many guests we have. Last year we had a good turnout, about 3,500 people, which is a lot. For India, that's not a big number, but for here, that's a big number. So we kindly ask you to come and celebrate that with everyone. It's the whole day, but main activities start at 5 p.m. onward with Abhishek, Kirtan, Jhulan, cultural program on the stage, kids activities, and of course prasadam. We humbly request for you to donate. Can you show next page? So Janmashtami is going to be our most expensive festival just because of the sheer number of people that come. Those of you that run a household know that food has become pretty expensive in the US now with all that's going on in the world. So there are some devotees, Patabi Ram Prabhu and anonymous donors that are sponsoring Bhoga, but I'd like to encourage all of you to consider sponsoring in some way or another. And Deity Dress has been sponsored by Ashutosh Prabhu and Shilpa Mataji. Shilpa Mataji, are you here today? I don't see her here today. So the two things that are still available is Shishi Radha Sham. They'll be having Abhishek, and Abhishek is done here. And you can have darshan of that. So we need sponsor for that. If somebody would like to offer Abhishek donation for Shishi Radha Krishna. And then thank you. And then we have flowers decoration. Like food, flowers have become very expensive. Our cost easily exceeds $1,000 just for flowers and the decoration. Because we try to go all out, and the deco team really wants to do amazing decorations, like occur for all the major festivals, especially for Janmashtami. So those of you that are able to, please kindly consider donating. If you've started a new job or anniversary, then consider donating. It's for your own benefit. Okay, next. So important for this year, nobody should park around the temple. The police have repeatedly said that crowd control is their number one priority because they want safety. So because of that, everybody should park do you see where that big P is on that side? On First Avenue between Jackson and Lincoln. It's right across the city government offices in Hillsborough. It's just a couple of blocks from here. Park there, and we'll have vans that'll bring you here, bring you and your family here. Dropping off family will not be allowed because the police are worried that your family will get hit by a car and something bad is going to happen, because it almost happened last year. So we ask you not to jeopardize our ability to continue the festival, because the police will shut down the festival if they see that happening. So we're trying to do everything in our part. We're going to have free shuttles. You have nice, secure parking at the parking lot there. Do not park on First Avenue, they'll tow your car away. Do not park on Grant, anywhere near 3 blocks of here, because once again, no parking there. So shuttle's your easiest best if you have family or just you're by yourself. You can park there. If you're by yourself and you're capable, you can just walk to the temple. It's like 3-4 blocks. If you need a shuttle, the shuttle will drop you off right next to the temple. Okay? Clear? Okay. So that's going to be enforced by police. And they're pretty no-nonsense. So, okay? Anything else there? Yes. So because it's the biggest festival, we need more volunteers to help. I'm seeing a lot of faces in this group that weren't here yesterday. Please kindly try to make some time. After all, it's the appearance day of Shri Krishna. So can you scroll up? We have lots of seva, kitchen cooking, helping with cleaning, setting up the booths outside, lighting, because we have big lights outside that need to be strung up, garland making, decorations. That's the day before, and then the day, because something this big you can't just do in the morning. It takes time to get all this done. There's cooking preparation, cleaning in the kitchen, prasadam packing, outdoor booths, etc. Anyways, there's something to engage you in whatever your interest may be. I think we'll have some devotees going out with something where they can take your name for seva opportunity. Is that right, with like the Madhava Prabhu? Yes. Okay, so you can just say, I'm going to come in such and such time, please sign me up. And this is pretty common in the US. All temples need that kind of help. In India, there's a little bit less of a need because the population is already so tuned to Sri Krishna Janmashtami. But here, this is a different culture for a lot of people. So please do come, make time. Jeff Prabhu was just here yesterday, early in the morning. The gentleman with, sitting there in the chair, doing, pressure washing of the sidewalk. He came in very early, and he had just a couple of months ago gone through a serious heart procedure. I'm sorry for revealing it, but for him that was so important. If somebody like that can do it, that should inspire us too to do it, okay? So you never know when last minute of breath will occur. At least try to remember Krishna. But if you don't practice it during this life, it won't happen at the end. Okay, next. The day after, on August 17th, is Srila Prabhupada Appearance Day. And it's a very wonderful day. And I think the timing will be our regular Sunday feast timing, so more devotees can participate in Pushya Abhishek of Srila Prabhupada and etc. There's, I think somebody was already offered for Pushya Abhishek yesterday. But please consider sponsoring for that. Temple is here to engage everybody in a propensity to serve. Not a single one of us gets paid for temple service. Rather, we donate regularly on a monthly basis to the temple so that everyone can, the deities can get appropriate service, and so the devotees, the bhaktas that come can also receive prasadam, etc. So in the US, the government doesn't support any of that. That has to be done by the congregation. And most of you are from India, so this is not a foreign concept. So please, be generous. Okay? Next. So Sunday feast today was sponsored by Radha Krishna Prabhu and Chandra Kanta or Mataji. Oh, Keshav, you're graduating? Congratulations. You don't look too happy. Yeah. Where have you decided college or? Congratulations. Your parents are going to be, I guess, true empty nesters, huh? That'll be hard. But you can come back every now and then. Congratulations on your success. And then Koli Reddy Prabhu and Jhansi Mataji, their son is also graduating from high school. Do you go to the same school, Kesha? You guys go to the same school? You're going to UT Austin too? Case Western? Good. Thank you. Well, congratulations to both of you for your success and to your families for the new part of your journey. And also Anjana Mataji, she also sponsored as Mataji here. Let's see. Ah, congratulations. She reminded me, I know her. She works with a hospice. Hospice is a very wonderful service that is given to people when they're in their time of greatest need. So it's very devotional also. So thank you, Mataji. Subsequently is, you can read for yourselves, the subsequent week is going to be observe Dhruti or Gopika's birthday, Vanmali Prabhu and Sumukhi Radha Mataji's daughter, and subsequently Mahesh Prabhu. This is a different Mahesh Prabhu. Is it you? Yours? I know that. But that's not you, your dad, right? Okay. I think he's getting confused. Oh, Prabhu, congratulations on your son's graduation. I think I see Mataji there too. Congratulations. Case Warnston, when's the big party? Already occurred? Did you guys graduate already? Oh. Okay, good. Next. Huh? Oh yeah, you can do flower donation for the August 24th. Oh, Chad Prabhu and Leslie Mataji, are they here? Chad Prabhu? I don't see. Okay, I don't see today. Okay, and then we'll wrap up by Srila Prabhupada's Leela. Should we be saying anything about fundraising through the businesses?
Today is the deadline. Whoever is helping with the fundraising, please get the donations and the event.
By the end of the day today?
Yeah, today is the day.
So today, for those of you that have reached out to professionals like doctors, lawyers, realtors, etc., or businesses, and they've offered a donation for Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Today is the deadline for obtaining that donation and the relevant details, because they need to make up the advertising picture board of all those donors. You want to add anything else? That's it. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today's Prabhupada Nectar Share is about love and trust amongst devotees. So this is Prithu Das who is speaking. When Srila Prabhupada was visiting Germany in 1974, my service was to organize the event. For that, I had a magnetic board that showed all the different departments such as deity worship, cooking, cleaning, book distributors, etc., with small magnet tags of all the names of the devotees, and could just see immediately who was where and doing what, and move devotees from here to there. While so absorbed managing the devotees, Srila Prabhupada stood all of a sudden behind me and said, "What is that?" I did not hear him coming and was shocked, so I hit the floor to pay my obeisances. When I came up, Srila Prabhupada asked again, "So what is it?" I explained to him that with this board, I can shift devotees from here to there, from this department to that one, and then gave him a practical demonstration. "How does that actually work?" Srila Prabhupada asked. I said, "It's a magnetic board, Srila Prabhupada. That's why these name tags stick to the board." He said, "Can I try that?" "Sure, Srila Prabhupada." So he said, "Okay, let's see. Let's take this person from here to there and that person from there to here." And he kept moving devotees around, enjoying the operation. After a few moments, his mood changed and he became very grave. He looked straight into my face and said, "And all this will fail if there is no love and trust between devotees." There we go. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yesterday I saw a lot of love and trust with devotees doing seva together, so thank you. Also some, I think, good news. Badri Prabhu and Shubhashri Mataji, I don't see them here. I see Prakunya. Krishna told me that the chhatris, the umbrellas for the Lord, have been made. And they're going to be hopefully coming this week. And they're really beautiful. And want to thank Sridhar Singham Prabhu and his family for bringing them over from India. And to those of you that donated for the chhatris, thank you so much. We know it's a big expense, but a lot of devotees expressed a desire to donate for them, and they'll be very beautiful. All blessings upon you from Shishinatai Sachin for your endeavor. And all those devotees that have been sponsoring Sunday feasts festival dresses, outfits. A lot of them are doing it anonymously, and it's really wonderful, very inspiring. Thank you. Take care. Today is going to be probably your last day of darshan of Shri Jaisacinandana because of the painting that's going to occur this coming week. So you can come and have darshan, take a photo, etc., and it'll be very nice. And I think pujaris will give you the blessings. Oh, Madhusudan Prabhu is kindly reminding me, very important, please stay seated. Announcements for our flyer distribution.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all the devotees for helping in spreading the invitation card to the congregation members around our area. We had printed around 2,000 postcards, and so far with the help of the devotees we have been able to distribute around 1,400 out of it. So we have 600 left and less than a week, right? So that brings the opportunity for all of us to get out, at least hand over 5 of these invitation cards to your friends, neighbors, right? We are also planning for a few days, like today in the evening, few hours, 2 hours most probably, like 6 to 8 or 5 to 7 in the evening, in front of 3 Indian stores, the India Connect, Apna Bazaar and Krishna Superstore, around the same Cornell Road area, right? So if you are willing to spend even an hour, please let me know and I can make sure that you have the postcard with you to distribute. You can take it and distribute throughout the week till Friday evening for the devotees to come and participate in Sri Krishna Janmashtami. We also have some A4 size printouts. We had printed around 100. We have 25 left. We had requested you to put this in a public place where you are allowed to. Definitely ask them if you are allowed to put this before you put it. If not, then if you are living in an apartment complex, you can put around the mailbox, or in your neighborhood there is a mailbox and a place to stick it. Definitely put it there. If not, at least take one and stick it behind the back window of your car so that when you are driving, at least few people could see it and get attracted to join the celebration. So before you go, please take at least 5 of these postcards and 1 flyer with you to stick it somewhere so that devotee could participate in Janmashtami. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Where can I find the postcards? You'll have them?
Yeah, I do have.
Okay. Is anybody willing to go to one of the Indian stores this evening? Madhav? Thank you. And Dhruv Prabhu? Anybody else? Anna Mataji? What's your name, Prabhu? What's your name? Satya. You live in the neighborhood of those stores? Okay. So that's nice. Anybody else? Nobody else wants to go? Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Good. Damodar Leela Mataji? Okay. Anyone else? How about you guys? You're graduating. Spend 1 hour for inviting people for Krishna Janmashtami. Consider this. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Mataji wanted to say that there are lots of WhatsApp group, regional, probably like say a Bengali group or a Bihari group or a Telugu group or Tamil group. I'm sure you are part of more than one such group. We have a soft copy of it, right? Please share it once again. I know in the past, like previous weeks, we have sent it, but this is the crucial time for reminding the people to join in. And as well as we have the Facebook post, right? Share that post and say going. Instagram as well. Lots of other social media platforms where you will see this. Please share it. Thank you.
Prasadam prayers. You want to Prasadam prayers, and then you can go up the stair and honor Prasadam. Please try to keep the area clean. We did a mega cleanup yesterday.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasvaneva Jayate Sarira Vityaja Jorende Ataeka Jive Fele Vishesagare તારમતે જીવાયતી લોભમય સુધર્મતી તાકે જેતા કઠિન સંસારે કૃષ્ણ બડડોયમય બડડોયમય કરી બારે જી હો જાય સ્વપ્રસાદ નદી લોબાય સેયા નામ નટપાવ રાધા કૃષ્ણ ગુણ ગાઓ પ્રેમે ડાકો છે ચૈતન્ય નિતાય જય નિમાય જય નિતાય જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ચૈતન્ય પ્રભુ નિત્યાનંદા શ્રી અદ્વૈતા ગણાધારા Shivatsari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare